Hello and welcome to Alignment Alchemy. I'm Serenity Sam, and this is episode number 5, the Vortex of Creation. I am so excited to have Liam O'Callaghan with me today. He is an expert on the law of attraction, and we're going to have such a fantastic conversation all around the vortex of creation. And before Liam comes on, I'd like to sing the Vortex song. Hello, Liam. I'll have to unmic you first before I say hello, Liam.
Hello, that was fun. You just feel good listening to that.
I know, it proper gets me going as well. It really does. Thank you so much for coming on the show. How are you today?
I'm really good, and I'm more excited even now that we're all here together, ready to dive in and share some awesomeness together. Let's see what unfolds, hey?
Yeah, absolutely. So, obviously we're both totally into the Abraham teachings and the law of attraction, and we have been studying for quite a long time. I know you have. How long do you think it's been for you, Liam?
I think I'm 24 at the moment, and I dived in whenever I'm turning 25 this month, and I dived in when I was 21 or so. So it's been solid, maybe close to 4 years or so now. But once I started, there was no looking back. And whenever you get access to this information, there is no going back. Like when you get onto it, it's like there's no, oh, I'm done with it type of thing. It's once you're in, you're going further, and it's just about growing and developing every day, you know?
This is it. It's just such a phenomenal thing. Just going to say hello to the people that are popping on as well. Hello. Hello, Angie. Hello, Rana. Sorry, I should put some glasses on so I can see you now. Yeah, Rana, hello. Now, have you guys ever studied the law of attraction? We'd like to know. I always like to know if people know anything about this stuff, so we know really how we can talk to people the best way as well. Like, does everybody know what the vortex of creation is? Have you ever heard of it? Hey, C. Hey, Pam. How's it going? Woohoo! So nice to see you. So can you just say in the chat if you've ever come across the vortex of creation? Yes or no? But let's talk about it, Liam. So what's your take on the vortex?
So basically, I think like the word vortex is a word that's used, and for people who are tuning in right now who maybe don't know what the vortex is, or maybe they're just new to the law of attraction, or they're new to Abraham's teachings, I think for me, and this is again my understanding of it, and I'm not saying that this is factual and like people, I'm not putting across my opinion to be the only opinion. This is how I interpret it, because I actually do think it's one of those places that, and one of those things, and one of those feelings that no human can truly say what it is, because it's more than that. It's like the same conversation whenever people talk about where the places that we go to whenever we die. No human can talk about that experience because we are here in this human physical form. But to me, the vortex it's that vibrational place. You don't see it, you don't necessarily smell it, you don't touch it, but it's a feeling. And it's like that feeling whenever you know you're onto the brink of something. Have you ever had that feeling where you're just so in alignment with something that it's not coming through force to do something? You're not doing it because your teacher told you to do it, your parents told you to do it, or your conditioning told you to do it. You're taking this impulse and you're going with it because your inner being is guiding you towards that path. And it's a vibrational place. And how you're feeling throughout the day, and for those of you who are listening, right, how you're feeling throughout the day will determine how close you are to the vortex or how far away you are from it. If you're waking up and you're not feeling well and you're groggy and you're snappy and you're not happy and you're not content within yourself, you're so far away from the vortex, right?
Yeah.
If you're waking up and you're feeling love, appreciation, you're waking up and you're feeling connected to who you are, you're feeling at peace, you've got love within your heart, you're there, you're on the road to the vortex. And it is about
Yeah.
all how it feels. I don't know if that's how
Yeah.
you would interpret it too, right?
Yeah, I do. I would say it's your happy place.
Yeah,
And it's sort of a funny thing. If you start becoming aware of it, you might get kicked out of it.
yeah,
So
yeah,
you sort of have to just be it.
yeah,
And it's just a place where you just find yourself just full of joy, full of feeling frisky, like Abraham says, and feeling like you're invincible. You just know who you are. You feel confident. You feel tapped into source energy, and you feel in love for everybody and everything. And you just know everything's on track. It's this
yeah,
feeling of security. And
yeah,
it's a feeling as well where you're just flowing with the energy, and really great ideas come. All
yeah,
sorts of inventions are
yeah,
like are born out of it.
yeah.
But it also
Alignment
like
shows up. Alignment
yeah,
shows up as
yeah,
well. Like
people are
new
showing
people.
up. You've got no sort of feeling about you that you're pushing about for something or really like making something happen. It is all just flowing. Can I just read the comments as well?
Yeah,
Lee says they don't know what it is, but tell me please. All right. We'll try. Rona, vortex is law of attraction. To me, sounds like building in systems which we need to remind, we all need a reminder about. Yeah,
yeah.
it is kind of like a heaven on earth, if we
Mhm.
were to put it in a nutshell. It is
Yeah.
really being able to see the world through very positive eyes.
And it's not about, I think it's one of those things where we have to understand that it's not about waking up every day and understanding that I need to be in this place, because we came here and we are having a human experience. But whenever
Yeah,
we do experience that contrast in life, we know then what it is that we don't want to be able to put us further towards what it is that we do want. And I
yeah,
don't necessarily think those of you who are tuning in right now, you're not going to get the answer on this call here today being like, yes, I know what the vortex is and I'm going to take this away with me and I know what to do now. It's a practice state of vibration that needs to have first awareness about. So you need to be aware that that place exists, and you need to be aware that you can go there. And it's about
mm,
practicing yourself into that vibration, because, like you've just said, you
yeah,
sometimes can feel yourself going in and the vortex kicks you right out sometimes. But it's about
yeah,
practicing yourself to be able to get into that soothing place so that you can
yeah.
stay there. Because I think you can agree with me that when you get in there, it's quite fun and you don't really want to leave.
Oh man, you never want to leave the vortex when you get in, and
No.
it really is a state of mind.
Yeah.
It is a state of energy and a state of mind, and of course, like you say, Liam, you can't keep it up 24/7. It's just
Yeah.
not normal.
Yeah.
But there is a marked difference between being aware of being able to get into the vortex and be and you know, I spend so much more of my time in a happy place than I ever used to. And it's because, and this is the whole crux of the sort of law of attraction Abraham teachings, because
Yeah.
I am deliberately thinking positive thoughts.
Of
I am
course.
deliberately saying to myself, you know, when something passes through my mind, is this something I want, something I don't want? And I keep on continually, it's like a practice of
Yeah.
practicing choosing the positive thought, and also knowing, and you become way less fearful of going for your desires, knowing, and this is another side of the vortex what we haven't discussed yet, that we have an inner being and 2 points of attraction. Our point of attraction on planet earth and these bodies and these human minds, but we also have a point of attraction which is our inner being's point of attraction, and our inner being is in the vortex. Our
All the time.
inner being
And
is
it never
calling
leaves.
us.
And it will never come down into this physical earth to go with you in your shitty vibration, because it just don't do that.
No,
And
it
it will
it will
stay
not
very
moan with us.
stubborn.
It will not complain with
It is
us.
stubborn. It will not feel sorry for you. It will not give
No,
sympathy to you. They
no.
know where they are staying and they've got it right. And I think with what you've
Yeah,
just touched on there as well, it's very important that we understand these things first of all. You can't just go
yeah,
into an exam, or you can't just go into a test that you're doing without being prepared, or without knowing, or without doing some sort of research or understanding to be able to understand the exam, right? You have
yeah.
to do that little bit of research and finding. And that's what I truly believe that life is. We're here
Mhm,
finding, we're here discovering, we're here creating. And I think that's very important that
mm,
we know that is that we are the creator of our own reality, whether we like it or not. And we see these people in life who create all these wonderful things, and whenever they hear
mm.
you're the creator of your own reality, they're like, yes, I am, I created this. But then whenever the shitty thing comes up, it's very hard for them to take control of, I created that too. So it's
Yeah,
about working out, where did I have a little bit of a hiccup, and
Yeah.
how can I recreate that? How can I reinvent that to get me to that step closer towards going where it is that I want to go?
Well, it is a double-edged sword, this knowledge, because there does, for me, is now a real responsibility knowing what I know now.
Yeah.
Knowing what I know now, I am so much more willing to get rid of my negative energy. I mean, there's so much science that's going into this now as well, Liam, as
Yeah.
you know. I'm in the metaphysical world and in the higher consciousness and the field and all of these things that people are talking about now that and are being scientifically proven that our negative energy manifests in the body. I mean, we get away with negative energy for a while until it gets so bad that it becomes something either manifested that we see or something that happens in the body. And I mean, I've had this as well, Liam. I have had an issue, a physical issue that I manifested because I was not listening to my emotions. I was trying to ignore them. I was
Yeah.
trying to push them down. I was trying to do everything I possibly could just not to feel these feelings I was feeling. And a big thing about law of attraction is that they're not just going happy, clappy, let's just put a plaster over it. They are saying, you have to know what your vibration is. You have to know that you're being shit about that thing. You have to know that you're being negative about that thing. And now we can do something about improving it.
Exactly that, but then transforming that of which it is that you're doing. And it's something that I say whenever I'm teaching clients and coaches or whatever, is that whenever I'm working with people, is I always say that yes, you are the creator of your own reality, but if you keep doing the same thing over and over again and you expect a different result, that's the definition of insanity, right? So it's about, like you said, having that acknowledgement and that awareness of where it is that you currently are right now. And I think that's a very interesting thing that you've just touched on there now, is the physical aspect of the root of a lot of people's physical problems. It's more so not about just it being a coincidence that this came on. If you go deeper within it and the science within it, it shows that stress, anxiety, depression, resentment, they bring a lot of those things on.
Yeah.
And every day, like people say to me, the people that I work with, how are you so happy all the time? This is a practice vibration.
Yeah.
I've had to get to a certain point where I wake up and I'm practicing these things from the word go. I've been in situations that a lot of people would react to, and I said, okay, I can't react, I have to respond. Take a deep breath in.
Yeah.
Relax, calm myself. What can I do here? How can I move forward? And I think with what a lot of people do, they find themselves and they hit a problem. And they focus on the problem and they focus on the problem and the problem and the problem and the problem, and they keep staying down here. But it takes the conscious person to see problem. Okay, universe can give me a solution, right?
Yeah.
Problem, solution. Big problem. Okay, we need a big solution. You know, big problem. It's okay. It's cool. And it takes a lot of willpower and it takes a lot of vibrational alignment to be able to do that. But that is what it takes, you know?
Yeah, and what I like about the teachings, they keep it very simple. Sort of like, okay, just think of the direct opposite of it, because whatever, if you're having a negative thought about that, think about its direct opposite. That is going to be what your inner being is thinking.
Choose a different thought. Just choose.
Because your inner being is thinking something incredibly positive, even when you're looking out at a situation you're deeming as very negative. And this is a whole entire sort of the understanding of this unconditional love. I mean, I've always been so interested, Liam, in what love was all about. You know, that's just been a topic that's been really, really interesting to me. And, you know, the Abraham stuff and the vortex as well, the sheer amount of love that is there from within. So it's all about self-empowerment. It's all about understanding how loved we all are from God, source, divine. And it's also understanding that all our desires are being tended to by this love. So we can act in confidence to start going towards them. Because so many of us, we've just given up on our dreams and we just thought, oh my God, there's just no way. You've looked at reality and thought, oh my God, there's just no way. You know,
and people give up on those things based on the perception of other people. They're not giving up on those things based on their inner being's guidance.
No.
They're not giving up on things based on source's guidance. They're allowing the external factors to determine the internal factors.
In fact, the more negative you've been about giving up on your dreams is a more indication that they are actually real.
Exactly, 100%. And then you're in this constant battle with yourself, and it can be very simple. You know, there's no big method, Serenity, that like people need to go out and do. Is sit in that silent place. You know, 15, 20 minutes per day, sit in that quieted mind. You know, relax. breathe, go into that quiet place, chill out a little, let the ego go to one side. Stop thinking that you need to have everything worked out. Stop thinking that your ego needs to say, well, I need to take care of this. Because I can honestly say the reason why I know these teachings are real, it's not even about believing that they're real anymore. For me, it's a no.
Mm,
I'm 24, and the things that I've created and I've seen manifest in my life, I know it's not me. I know it's not
mhm,
down to
mm.
physical Liam O'Callaghan. There's something
What
much greater there.
do you
There's
wanna
something
share a
real.
couple of things that have manifested just for a laugh and just to give
Well,
people a
like,
little
I
bit
don't know
of,
how to share that. But, like, whenever I was at school, I remember, I don't know why, whenever I was a young guy, I was always a dreamer. Like, I was always like the one
Mm,
staring out the window, knowing that there was more to life, but not knowing any of this information. I only came into the interactions of law of attraction teachings when I was 20. And
mm,
I was just always like, yeah, I'm not good at school. Like, I was done okay at school. I'd done enough to get by. I'd done enough to not get in trouble. Never went on for further education. Never went to university, college. Did never get any of those degrees. But by the age of 21, and I had started, by the age of 22, I had been able to walk away from my full-time retail job working at a retail store, TK Maxx. And there I was in this business that I had started 2 years prior to that as a 19-year-old starting the business. And I had generated my first six-figure year for a 21-year-old. I had a
that's
six-figure year
am that's
as a
amazing.
22-year-old. And it wasn't until I went down the path that I started to understand, oh my God, like, I know that's not down to me because I don't have the
Yeah,
best education in the world. And whenever I share this story, it's also not to brag or boast, to tell people, look at me. It's to tell people that we have an inner being, we have a
mhm,
vortex. You have got a point of attraction, you have got a vibrational reality. When you line up with it, when you make a decision and you work on that every single day to get closer to what it is that you want, it all can be there. I said at 19 or 20, I want to be able to travel the world and see everything. And I could go into detail, but I know we don't have a lot of time right now. But within the past 3.5 years, I've been to 25 countries. I visited
yeah,
25 countries all around the world, and I've met
it's
some amazing
amazing.
people, tried
Yeah,
all this different food. But my life has just showed way too many things that we don't have
yeah,
time to get into all of it right now. That I
yeah,
know it's not me anymore. I know it's not me. I know
yeah,
that other part of me, the bigger part of me,
mm.
this part of us, this size, the bigger part of us, we can't even compare.
Can we talk about your time that you had in the hot seat with Abraham?
Oh my God, that was just phenomenal. Like, that was phenomenal. So it was a February, it was exactly about a year ago. I was leaving on the 13th of February 2020, and we all
Oh,
know what a year that was for us. And it was the start of something wonderful. And I had went there, and the people that were
where
with
did you go? Where was it?
Sacramento,
Okay.
Sacramento, California, and it was just the best experience ever. I got there super early with my friend, and she had met some of her friends there too as well. Like, I was front row, and I was ready to be ready, to
Oh.
be ready, to be ready, and it was such a fun day. Like, oh my God, the unfolding of Abraham's segments were wonderful.
Yeah,
And I could see, like, Abraham, Esther, they were like, we had clocked eye contact a few times during the day, like from the morning segment, then we had lunch, and then we had another segment. And
yeah.
she was so funny. They were so funny. Some of the
Oh.
stuff they come out with, and when I laugh, I like have this demon red face. I'm just pissing myself laughing in the front row. So she saw me, and then it was one of the girls that turned around to me and said, by the way, look at this whole front row. And the whole front
Yeah,
row was all ladies. And I was the
yeah.
only guy in the front row. And I said, I love this. I am so happy. And it was the last segment of the day. And it was
Oh.
people said to me, oh, Liam, by the way, I have a feeling you're going to be on the hot seat and stuff. And I didn't want to be like, yeah, I know that too. But internally, I had this little
Mm.
feeling going, I see you, you see me, and we're going to have a great interaction. Well,
Oh.
they pointed to me, and I just was like, "Oh my God, this is the moment."
Oh my
I was
god.
responding up, and then when I sat down, she turned around and she said, "We've brought trouble to the stage." Well, I just burst out laughing already. I was
Oh.
laughing, and I just explained to everybody, and I said, "By the way, I just want to start off by saying I'm so happy to be in America. I'm so happy to be in your country. I love you all. I love you, Esther. I love you, Abraham." And the whole place just was like clapping like crazy. And I was already on this vibe. But
Yeah.
getting to the meat of it, they shared some very, very, very insightful things with for me that I was going through personally that I never even talked
Mm.
about, or that I never even said or asked for advice on, but I just knew that they knew. And I took it as the indication that I've got some work to do. I took it
Yeah.
as an indication that, okay, Liam, this is the path for you. You got to follow this guidance. And it's whenever it really locked in for me that Abraham was real for me. Like I knew it
Yeah.
for so long, but I just knew after the interaction, it
Yeah.
was phenomenal. And
Yeah.
it wasn't until I got the recording of the segment, which was on my birthday, which was the 28th of February. I got the recording on
Oh.
my birthday, the 28th of February. I plugged in the headphones and I listened, and I just had these tears running down my eyes because I was
Oh.
like, oh, this is hit right in the core. This is exactly what I needed to hear. They spoke
Oh.
directly to me. And for those of you who want to hear the segment, I can post that segment too as well. It's somewhere
Oh,
floating
do
around
it. Do
YouTube.
it. Do it.
I will post it, but it was fun. It was just a fun segment, and life totally transformed in the space of 2020. I would say it's the biggest. It was the biggest transformational journey that I've had for me personally in my time here in this physical time space reality. You know.
Yeah. Absolutely. What?
Yeah.
Oh man, that just. I saw Abraham as well.
Yeah.
And it was, I couldn't believe how it came in my eye. I won't go through the whole story, but I literally woke up. I didn't even have a strong intention of this thing happening. And by lunchtime, I had, because I'm in the UK, and you're in Ireland, just to mention.
Yeah.
By lunchtime, I had somewhere to stay. I had a plane ticket, and I bought a ticket to the event.
Oh, where did you go?
I went to Phoenix, Arizona.
Nice.
So, it was a massive thing that it
Yeah.
manifested out of nowhere, no effort
Yeah.
at all. I was just standing there. I had the whole thing. And from that day forward, Liam, I was on fire. I had
Yeah.
Abraham was running through my head like 24/7. This positive energy was just flowing through me. Like, there's just like, I'd never felt anything like it in my whole life. And the
Yeah.
whole build up to going there and walking in.
Yeah,
Oh my
I think for
God.
me it's like the whole you see it and you hear it online for so long, and then you rock up to the event, and next thing Esther comes from
Oh.
behind stage, and it's just
Oh
like,
my
what's
God.
happening?
Liam, the feeling in the room, I cannot explain it. The feeling in the room was somewhere between, it was ethereal. And
Yeah,
now it was a little bit like a morgue. I just have
it
to
was.
say that. It had a dead feel in there. Did
Oh
you feel there
wow.
was I felt like, but it was electric. It was like this electric
I just,
energy.
do you know what it felt like? It just felt like connection, and like all
Oh,
distractions from life just left. Like my phone was on airplane mode. I wasn't thinking of anything else in my life. I was fully there. I was fully present. Abraham came through Esther, and there was an energy shift in the room. Whenever Esther came on
oh
stage,
man.
she goes, "Okay, bye now," and she closed her eyes. Well, it just went boom, and I was
I
like,
just
"Okay,
it was like this feeling. It was like this presence in the air. I'd never felt anything like it in my life. And
yeah,
it was just if that in itself was the most tremendous thing to have experienced, as
yeah,
well as everything else that
yeah."
happened on that journey, which was just the most phenomenal. Can't even go into it. I could do a whole entire 5 hours talking
I'll
about
talk
the
about it.
moment that I decided to go, and all of the weird synchronistic things that happen along the way.
Yeah,
But Bashar ended up going to California. People out of nowhere from the past ended up meeting me in Phoenix, Arizona. Someone who was an empowerment teacher to me flew
yeah,
all the way there.
yeah,
A shaman teacher. We ended up
yeah.
going to Sedona. It was just like we can't put it all into words.
I think the funnest
What
part is being
happens
able to
when we
get to.
align?
I think the funnest part is being able to get to, the point where it's like those things. It's like when the unfolding start happening, you're just like, thanks, guys. It's just
I
like, of
know.
course that happened like that. Of course
I
that
know.
unfolded that way.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah,
And this is the message I think that is so good for people like yourself to be coming out and just again just encouraging people to walk forward into their own
of
self-empowerment, no
course.
matter what the path is, no matter
Yeah,
whatever it is, wherever
yeah,
we find alignment, whatever you want to call it,
yeah.
connection with source energy and that positivity. It
Well, that's
really,
what they said to me throughout my segment. They said, "You've been looking for love in all the wrong places," and I was like, "Oh, damn! They so know what it is." And they turned around to me and they said, "We don't want you to. We want you to stop being careful with your words, and we want you to start owning them." And I was like, "Oh my God!"
oh,
Like you can just feel that. Like it was just such a. I would say emotional, but it was such a connectivity point with that connection that I had on there. I was on that stage and my back to 800 people in the room, and like
Mm,
the vibrations and the energy was just, you can't even explain it in words. And I remember
mm,
walking off feeling very red faced, feeling very flustered, and I was just itching to get the recording, because when you hear that recording, and even now when I listen to the recording,
mm.
I still get golden nuggets from it, you know?
Ah, it's just amazing. Just love
Yeah.
it.
Yeah.
Just absolutely love it. But, before we kind of wrap it up a bit, can you tell people a bit more about yourself, what you do, if there's
Yeah.
anything that, they can connect with and all of that?
So you guys can connect with me anywhere on, let's Facebook and Instagram is usually the two best places. On Facebook, it's just Liam O'Callaghan, and on Instagram, it's Liam OC. That's my handle. It's Liam OC. So ITSLIAMOC. And to be honest with you, I literally am just living my path of unfolding. I don't have anything specific. I don't do anything specific. Well, I work online, and I help companies with getting themselves out online. I help people. I do one-to-one coaching. I have a couple of clients working with people through mindset, through personal development, through getting people on the path and holding people accountable to that. And I do a little bit of work behind the scenes on social media, helping out different companies with their social media. But to be honest with you, I'm literally just walking the path of the unfolding. I make decisions with what feels good, with what feels aligned, with what feels
Mm,
from a space of inspiration. And I'm looking to just put out pure positivity, love, light, and peace to as many people as I possibly can. That's all I want to put out there. That's all I want to attract. I
yeah.
want to go out there and I want to be a vessel to be able to help people, to be able to spread inspiration. I want to be able to help encourage people to walk down the path and to go deeper in the path. And since we
Mm,
reached out and we connected with one another, we've got to know one another more. We've got to be
yeah.
able to have a deeper understanding. That's what it's
Mm,
all about for me. And
yeah.
having fun. Like having fun is the basis of all points of my life.
Absolutely. Well, thank you so much for coming on. It's been an
Thank you for having
absolute
me.
joy. And, yeah, it's just such a blessing to have met you,
And you.
and just full of appreciation for your presence here today. So thank you so much.
Awesome. Thank you so much. And thank you, everybody who tuned in.
Oh, how fabulous. So, so fabulous. And before I go, I just want to tell you what's going on next week as well. I'm going to have Joan of Angels come on. Joan is absolutely fabulous. You're going to absolutely love her. She's all about making miracles, and she's all about empowering us to live our highest dreams. And also, she's very much into the law of attraction as well. And she's part of Spirituality Gone Wild, as I am as well, and part of the Untamed Club. So, there's just so much going on there. There's loads and loads of things for everybody to get into, and to, study and be part of, and really, really rev up this, having an amazing, amazing life. So look forward to seeing Joan. So I hope you enjoyed today, and I so look forward to seeing you next week.